Mrs. Anthisuku, who represents the coordinating school, to be with us. And of course, to give the opportunity to others to join. As you know, the meeting will start at 2 o'clock. So give us 5 more minutes. If you want to exchange something, we are here. Okay. I have let Angeliki to join, but Angeliki is already here because we have a problem with camera and the microphone to the other laptop. So we are in the same display. Στο σχολείο. Okay. I don't know if you want to say something until all the others join. Hello. How are you? Nice to be with us. It's almost 2 o'clock. Let's wait a little bit more. I don't know for you, Celine, if you want to say something until we are waiting for the others to join.
I'm very happy to see you all, all there. Thank you, join us. And Auntie here. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Good to see you. Hello, Kubra. Are we giving a few minutes to those who are going to join?
Yes, that should be 2, and we can.
Maybe give them 3-4 minutes if you agree.
And I can see Maros too, so we have to wait. And say, do you want me to start sharing or no yet?
Yeah, come on.
Maybe you could start sharing the contents.
Yes, but I will share my screen so as to be easier to make use of chat later on, etc.
Whatever is more convenient.
Let Maros insert in the panel. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Aspa.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Let me open chat, etc.
Η καρδιακή ανεπάρκεια είναι σοβαρή πάθηση. Αντιμετωπίζεται αποτελεσματικά μόνο αν γίνει η διάγνωση. Μίλησε τώρα στο γιατρό.
Aris, mute the microphone. Okay. Rados.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Rados. Hello, Maros.
Hello,
Welcome.
hello.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you again, too. How are you?
Okay.
We have heat waves here as well,
Yes.
Oh,
apart from the heat of the project, but fine. How are you?
yeah, good, good. It's the last days in the school, so
The last
we
days
are
in the
looking
school
forward
are very
to
awful.
holidays. So.
Okay, and so do you think that we can?
Maybe we could start, right?
Yeah.
So let's give the floor to Mrs. Kubra Ersan,
Yes.
who gave us this chance to co-organize together with our partners from the NGOs GET this dissemination, this online collaborative meeting. So Kubra,
Yes, thank you very much.
thank you so much.
Hello, everyone, first of all, and it's a great honor for me to be here with you. And let me introduce myself first. My name is Kübra Ersan, and I'm from Kırıkkale, Turkey. I have been working as an English teacher for 15 years. Now, I work at Yıldırım Beyazıt Anatolian High School permanently, but I was invited to work for the Ministry of National Education of Turkey in 2024. So I am writing 7th grade English course book that will be in use for the next 5 years in Turkey. I also create educational videos for 8th grades in Maybe platform, which is designed for online learning. It is also the official application of Turkish Ministry of Education. And besides, I got my master's degree with my thesis named Learning Foreign Languages in Turkey and Its Problems in 2019. I have been making both e-twinning and Erasmus projects for 8 years. So I prefer working interdisciplinary by mixing chemistry, food technology, biology, sometimes literature, sometimes history, with subjects in English. And for today, let's continue for this meeting, why to include Mediterranean diet, or let's say the name of this, of course, beautiful project, Mediterranean Diet for Overall Health. It is a K210 WET Erasmus e-twinning project that aims to analyze the role of food as a foundation of cultural identity and community continuity through the values hospitality, neighborliness, intercultural dialogue, and creativity. The role of better adherence to the Mediterranean diet for environmental sustainability, and a set of skills, competences, knowledge, and practices required for a work placement in the food system. A comprehensive digital course structured around 3 models, actually, was collaboratively created by the partners, making use of web-based explorations and applying STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and CLIL, content and language integrated learning, and inquiry-based science education methodologies. So why to include Mediterranean diet to a school or a WET curriculum? I mean, vocational education, incorporating the Mediterranean diet into everyday teaching practices supports goal 4, quality education, by fostering contextualized and holistic learning. It especially advances sub-goal for point 7, yes, as it helps students develop the knowledge and skills necessary to support sustainable development. This includes education focused on sustainable living, gender equality, global citizenship, and appreciation of cultural diversity and the role of culture in sustainability. Additionally, integrating this element into education contributes to other United Nations Sustainable Development Goals too, as identified by UNESCO's Dive into Intangible Cultural Heritage tool. These include Goal 2, Zero Hunger, Goal 5, Gender Equality, Goal 14, Life Below Water, and Goal 15, Life on Land, and 17, Partnerships for the Goals. Here, I want to actually say that from my previous e-twinning and Erasmus projects and experiences, the Mediterranean diet is a mean of helping health and sustainable development goals, of course, but it is more than a diet. It is something building bridges, and it is also very important to bring people from all diversity, all marginal groups, all different regions under the same table, even some cultural elements, even music. Let's think about in this way. You know, Mediterranean region, it has some different kind of smell, let's say. Yes, food, of course, health, very important, but it is also a sharing. It brings, it's hugging all people under the same table. It's a joy. So the intangible cultural heritage point is really very important. It makes it more than a diet pattern, more than a food, but sharing, developing or changing some cultural patterns. We can continue. Yes. So why to include Mediterranean diet to a school or vocational education curriculum? This approach aligns with the core values of the new curriculum framework, which aims to help students develop as reflective learners who know how to learn, research, and think creatively and effectively, and apply and generate knowledge, make informed decisions using scientific elements, and build self-esteem, confidence, empathy, and resilience to engage with others, take part in initiatives that tackle today's major global challenges, such as resource depletion, environmental pollution, migration crisis, and epidemics, of course. And the agenda of the meeting will be inclusive digital learning strategies, web quests, exchange of good practices between schools, workshop on inclusive digital learning. So the floor is, I don't know, but I am really happy to again be here and again talk about these issues, you know, now all these very far away from me, but I feel myself happy. So thank you very much giving chance to me.
Thank you, Kubra.
Thank you, Kubra.
Not at all.
So, Celine, you could proceed with the inclusive digital learning. Your microphone is closed.
Sorry.
You're
Hello
not
again.
used to Webex, yes.
My name is Celine. Okay, sorry. I am an English language teacher at Nam Kemal Anatolian High School. I have been teaching about for 23 years. I am also a member of an NGO called Uluslararası Samsun Gençlik Girişimcilik Eğitim Derneği, in English, International Samsun Youth Entrepreneurship and Education Association. Today, I am going to tell about inclusive digital education and how WebQuest can support inclusive practices in our classrooms. So let's start with inclusive digital education. It's an approach that uses digital technologies to build learning environments where every student has an equal opportunity to succeed. At its core, inclusive digital education isn't just about using technology, but about using it intentionally to meet the diverse needs of all learners. Whether students face physical, cognitive, linguistic, or socioeconomic barriers, this approach aims to remove those obstacles and create meaningful, equitable access to education. The foundation of this approach is grounded in strong theoretical models. First, we have universal design for learning, which promotes flexible ways of presenting information, engaging students, and allowing them to express what they've learned. Then, the other is multimodal learning theory, which recognizes that students absorb information through different channels, visuals, auditory, aesthetic, and that teaching should reflect this variety. And the last one, finally, we get sociocultural theory that reminds us that learning is social, and students benefit greatly from interaction, dialogue, and collaborative meaning-making. These ideas are brought to life through 4 key pillars. First one is accessibility and digital equity, making sure all students can access the tools and content they need, regardless of their circumstances. Second one is differentiation and personalized learning, using technology to tailor instruction to each student's pace, strengths, and needs. Third one is collaborative and participatory learning, fostering peer interaction, group work, and shared problem solving in digital spaces. And finally, digital empowerment and critical literacy, helping students not just use digital tools, but understand them, question them, and use them responsibly. You can change the slide, please. Now let's talk about WebQuest. What is it? How can we use it in education? WebQuest is a powerful guided inquiry-based learning activity that uses the internet as the main resource. What makes WebQuest particularly valuable in modern classroom is their flexibility. They can be easily differentiated and adapted to meet the diverse needs of all students, making them a great tool for inclusive digital education. A typical WebQuest is structured into 6 case spaces. What are they? First one is introduction. Introduction is where the topic is presented in a way that grabs students' attention and sparks their curiosity. This stage is all about activating prior knowledge and motivating learners. And the other one is the task. This is the core of the WebQuest, a meaningful challenge or problem that students are expected to solve. It could be anything from designing a campaign to analyzing a real-world issue, but it must be engaging and relevant. Then the next one is the process. Here, students are guided step by step on how to complete the task. This section includes clear instructions and often provides scaffolding to support different learning styles. And the next part is the resources phase. It offers created online content like articles, videos, websites, or interactive tools that students will use to explore the topic and complete their work. These are carefully selected to ensure quality and a preparation, and after that, evaluation comes, where we define how students' work will be assessed. This usually involves rubrics or criteria that align with learning goals and support fair, transparent grading. And finally, the last part, of course, the conclusion. It wraps up activity with space for reflection and feedback. Students can review what they've learned, share insights, and think critically about their experience. Overall, WebQuest combines structure with creativity, guiding students through rich digital learning experience while allowing room for differentiation and personal growth. And I think the most important part, how can we combine WebQuest in our educational, in our classrooms? Now let's explore how we can adapt WebQuest to support inclusive education, ensuring that all students, regardless of their backgrounds, abilities, or learning styles, can fully participate and succeed. The process can include multiple formats, for example, written instructions, audio guides, visual aids, or video walkthroughs. They support students with different learning preferences and needs. This also helps students with language barriers or learning difficulties. When selecting resources, we should ensure they are accessible. Think about using content with captions, transcripts, or screen reader compatibility. It is very important to include materials that reflect cultural diversity and offer multiple perspectives. Webquizzes are flexible and open-ended, making them it makes them an excellent tool for inclusive classrooms. They already encourage active, student-centered learning through internet-based exploration. But with thoughtful design, we can take it a step further and make them truly accessible to every learner. All of our students can access the web page. The next slide, please. Yes. We can differentiate the task based on students' interests, abilities, or readiness levels. For example, some students might work on creative presentation, while others can focus on research or analysis. The key is offering choice and variety in how they demonstrate their learning. When enhanced learning for all students are promoting collaboration in heterogeneous groups and allowing flexibility in how final projects are presented. First, let's talk about heterogeneous grouping. How can we group students in a heterogeneous way? Grouping students with different strengths, backgrounds, and learning styles creates rich opportunities for collaboration. In these diverse groups, every student brings something unique to the table, whether it's creative thinking, research skills, or organization or communication. By assessing growth based on students' strengths, we encourage participation and build mutual respect. It's also an excellent way to foster peer learning and social emotional development. But collaboration is most meaningful when students also have freedom to express their learning in ways that suit their individual abilities. Yes, our students can speak or reflect their ideas in a free way. I don't know how, but we must give them that chance. In any way, in our classrooms. And instead of requiring all students to produce the same type of final product, we can offer multiple options. You must give them different options, of course. One group, for example, might create a video. Another can create podcast, digital poster, slideshow, a skit, or even an interactive web page. They will be up to them. The idea is to let students to choose the format that best reflects their talents and how they can learn. This is not only increases motivation, but of course it also levels playing field and allows students to shine. Group work can be structured to promote collaboration and peer support with clear roles that play students' strengths. For example, again, one student might be a researcher, and another one is a designer, and another one presenter. This encourages cooperation and shared responsibility. Group work is very important. And finally, we can adapt assessment by using flexible rubrics that value different types of contributions, not just final product, but also effort, creativity, teamwork, and reflection. I think that's all for my part.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Aspa, maybe we can change slide. So welcome everyone again. For those who don't know me, my name is Anthisuku. I'm an agronomist teacher at the coordinating school of this Erasmus Plus project, Second Esperinoi Palacharnon. And before we dive into our workshop, let me walk you through the objectives we have today. So first, we'll explore what inclusive digital learning means, but not just in theory, but also how it really looks in the classroom settings. We'll also look at key principles and tools that support inclusive practices. And finally, you'll be invited to reflect and share simple and practical strategies that you can apply in your own context. But before we get started, let's hear from you. There's a QR code, a picture of a QR code. You can scan it. If you can't, I will share a link with you right away in the chat. And you can use code 43952619. And there is a Menti there with a scale from 9 to 5, where you can rate how inclusive is your current digital practice. And I will call my colleague, Mrs. Milona.
Yes, let me stop sharing.
To start sharing the Menti and
the presentation.
We'll wait for your responses now.
Okay, present. The presentation has started, so you can share your options. You log into menti.com and the code is 4395619. Okay. As we can see, the majority here, for them who already have voted,
Aspa, you're not sharing the Menti.
Yes, I will share it, but I'm waiting to have some more votes because now I can see 9. I have to stop sharing this. Okay. Now you can see the results. Can you see that now?
Yes.
I can see that there are 9 votes so far. 11. No. The majority of those voted. There are also 4 people who are voting right now. We can come back here after some minutes and see the other results, but the majority are starters in the use of inclusive digital practices. I am sure that you will develop that you use more digital Web2 tools in your practices than you are thinking of. So let's continue with the presentation. Let me share it again. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, we are
Okay.
back.
So we all know that there are a lot of Web2 tools around there, and now with artificial intelligence tools, there are more, and we can choose from them so as to make our learning and teaching activities more inclusive and more engaged for our students. But the point is always to know why do we use technology in our lessons, because if you just include Web2 tools without a name, it's not so important and it's not so efficient for our learning and teaching activities. Starting on how to make our lessons more inclusive, I have to say that we have to make use of interactive learning environments, and that means that we can use a lot of interactive Web2 tools. We have plenty out there, and the most familiar to all of us is Padlets. And that are similar to Padlet, like Dotstorming, Digipad, every pad that you can see and every board you can see in internet. There are boards where students can post, and they can choose what to post: text, image, video, a resource that is already in the internet, free to use. So it's ideal for those that don't feel comfortable to express themselves in other ways, and they have to choose a small text, a bigger text. It depends on each one's limits and skills. On the other thing, we can collaborate in Padlets. That means that we can express our emotions by putting likes or a score or a comment, and that makes them collaborative and interactive, because if there is no interaction, they are not interactive. There are another one that we use to make our lessons more interactive is Mentimeter, because we use it in brainstorming. You can ask your students to express some responses in some questions, but maybe they will be shy if they are wrong. Mentimeter is something that they can give an answer and they don't care if it's wrong because it's anonymous and no one knows who responded false or no. And Mentimeter also gives us the opportunity to create some quizzes and to be used like an assessment. It's a more engaging assessment than other ones. And we can use it to take feedback. And we know that all students, if they give feedback in an anonymous way, they feel more comfortable to be more honest and give us more responses on how to make our learning and teaching activities even better. And of course, it's Walklet. Walklet has so many uses in learning and teaching activities. And I don't want to stand only to one, but I have to say that it's something that helps us collect and organize of their video. So it puts less pressure and help them to build confidence with the final result. And for the end, I would like to present you a tool. I know that maybe the majority of you know Microsoft Immersive Reader that is used to give voice to make an audio for students who have a problem to read a worksheet or a lesson. I have a student in my classroom that it's really strange. He can read everything in English, but he has a problem to read Greek. So he was doing that. He was translating everything in English, and then he was reading in English. Now with this tool that I'm going to present, and of course I use Microsoft Immersive Reader too, but 11 Labs gives you the chance to copy paste the text, and you can give to your prompt also some more details on how to be the tone of the voice that will be used. And even I use it in Greek language. You can choose the language here and put it in English. And in that occasion, they have the translation here. And if you click on play, you can see, you can hear it. And if you are happy with the result, otherwise you can originate it, you can download. When you download, you will have this. I don't know if you will hear, please tell me.
Dear students,
If
you
hear-
will be
Yes, we-
divided in 5 transnational groups to work on the following scenario. You are part of a supply chain tasked with delivering fresh produce from a farm to consumers. Each group represents a critical part of this supply chain. Unfortunately, unexpected issues arise at each stage, leading to increased food waste. Your goal is to identify these issues and develop innovative solutions to minimize waste. Group 1, farmers. Group 2, transporters. Group
Okay, there was no point. Yes, I did my miracle again. There was no point to hear it all, but sorry, I have to go back. I'm so sorry for that. And maybe it seems difficult to you to understand that in this occasion it downloads an audio. And if you want to include this to your learning scenarios, you have to generate a QR code for this audio. So you are downloading the QR code and you are coming to QR code generator. You click on MP3 and you upload here your file and it generates a QR code and you can go back to your worksheet and add there the QR code. You ask your students to scan this and they can hear the audio. I don't know, Anthi, if it's easy to share the link of this, of 11 Labs. Can you share it?
Give me a moment, please.
Okay, meanwhile, until you share this, I would like to say that, of course, there are more Web2 tools that are out there. And in this step, it will be awesome if you could share some of the Web2 tools that you use in your teaching and learning activities.
I will share the link of Padlet as well in the chat.
Yes, I have already clicked. So, okay, you can go there. I would like for some minutes to stay with me to see the 11, wait and see, 11 labs. I have this already open to my other. Okay. The steps that I showed you to the presentation, told the attendees will have this presentation. The steps that I have already said, it's the free edition. You don't log in. If you want to take this, you don't log in. As you can see in the first page of this Web2 tool, you have here the chance, text to speech, speech to text, etc. You are coming here and copy paste whatever you want. And then you click just to play. It generates and you click on play. If I click play here.
In the ancient land of Eldoria, where skies shimmered and forests whispered secrets to the wind.
Okay, and I don't know how to remove here. Next to the play, I don't know if you can see that because it's a voice chat here. And I can't remove now. But if you go here, there is the download, and you can download without even login. If you log in, make use of login, of course you have more elements
options.
Yes, more options, more elements, etc. Because if you click here on text to speech, you will see that okay, let's go here. If you can see, you can have different speakers. You can add more speakers. It has Rachel, but you can change Rachel. You can add another speaker and you can build a conversation here, a dialogue. That means that when we have debate activities, the students that don't feel confident to take part to real dialogues in the classroom, they can make use of this and build a conversation here with AI voices and to present this in the classroom. You have a lot of chances to make use. There are plenty of women or men make use of you can save some to do. Okay, that's all I want to say. The do you think that we have the time to give or everyone feel comfortable to feel something on the Padlet while we go on at the end? What do you think?
Come back at the end to the Padlet, you mean? We'll also have to share a participant list that I forgot to share. Excuse me for this.
Okay, you can share it now and we can share it again at the end.
And at the end, we can work again on the Padlet if you wish.
And even it's not about Web2 tools, you can share with us other ways you can use in your classroom to make it more inclusive. It's not necessary to include here only Web2 tools. You can describe which are your inclusive practices. Okay, am I back to the presentation?
We are, no, you're not back.
I'm not sharing? Oh,
we are interested in how you differentiate your teaching to for all students, for all learners to feel comfortable. So in the meanwhile, we can make a brief presentation of our digital course and to show you some examples how we have implemented all that Aspasia has mentioned and described. So as you can see, our digital course is, which is implemented through TwinSpace, a tech platform. It is divided in 3 modules. There are in total 60 web quests for these 3 modules. And there are also included 20 web quests for the celebration of awareness days, that their theme is somehow related to our topic, the Mediterranean diet. So I will tell you a few things about Module 1. This is a module to address the complex issue of climate change. We give an emphasis on its connection to food production and processing. And through this, students explore the causes and the consequences of climate change, whether they are natural or human-induced. We also analyze the impact of them on the environment, on the environmental and human health. And we give a special focus on understanding how modern food systems contribute to this and are affected by climate change. Through this exploration, students can assess the environmental footprint of food from farm to fork, examine the broader implications for public health and future generations, and consider how sustainable food choices can support both planetary and personal well-being. So some objectives we have here before we move on to the examples. Through this module, students should be able to define climate change and understand its historical context, differentiate between natural and anthropogenic climate change, identify the primary causes of it, analyze the effect of climate change on the environment, human health and the planet, recognize the connection between food systems and climate change, measure the influences of food systems to health, environment and economy, analyze the path of food from farm to fork, understand the implications of climate change for future generations, and finally be aware of the adoption of healthy food choices for both their health and the health of the planet. Some examples here, you can see some of the activities we have implemented, our students have implemented. There are interactive presentations, discussions, and opinion expressing on Tricider and on Padlets. There is poster designing. For example, in order to compare climate with weather, students explored the weather monitoring website and wrote down current weather patterns and climate data of their locations. And then they interviewed elder members of their family so as to discuss any observed changes over time. And they wrote down on Linoit what they have learned. In another case, they also made a common presentation on natural versus anthropogenic climate change. And this was followed by a debate that was in their classroom. And here you can see also that in order to explore the causes of climate change, they also used simulations, such as the Global Forest Watch, which is free. It is an interactive online platform that monitors deforestation. There is also the En-ROADS interactive simulator for global climate to test the long-term effects of various climate policies. This is great for groups to explore what-if scenarios together. And we also implemented some simple experiments to realize the impact of climate change on planetary health. Like they created simple models to better understand the effects of glacial melt on water levels, or they used vinegar using, they wanted to examine the ocean acidification, and they observed this reaction. And if we change the slide, Aspa, they were also asked to share their thoughts.
And see, there is an echo.
I
don't know if there are.
Dennis and ML, they need to turn off the microphones.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Again, I hear my voice. Okay. Students. Okay, I try to control the.
I think that you can go on now.
Yes. Students were asked to share their thoughts and reflections. They created collaborative presentation in transnational themes. They created mind maps and to participate in a collaborative storytelling activity. They also explored food systems in farm-to-fork trips and prepared questions to interview a microbrewer when they visited us in a harness for the implementation of the activity environmental dimensions of food production and processing. And they also made a video with Canvas with these interviews. And they also implemented some simple lab tasks, experimenting food processing methods like dehydration, pasteurization, fermenting vegetables. They were also given hypothetical scenarios and case studies. Or, for example, they were asked to write a diary from the perspective of marine organisms, focusing on the issue of overfishing. They also had a group-based activity in order to compare the ecological footprints of different countries using data from the Global Footprint Network. And I don't know if you know the site, it provides the ecological footprint per person, biocapacity, carbon footprint, and overshoot day. Those were some examples by Module 1, but for Module 2, I will invite my colleague from First Department of Part 2, Mrs. Angeliki Makritaki, to walk us through it. Angeliki, you need to unmute your microphone.
Good evening to all. This module explores the interconnectedness between nutrition, health, sustainability, and personal food choices. It provides students with a solid foundation in the scientific concepts of nutrition, including nutrition functions, food classification, and balanced diets. Going beyond basic dietary knowledge, it emphasizes the role of nutrition in disease prevention, long-term well-being, and environmental impact. Through critical evaluation of food sources, such as local vs global, plant-based vs meat-based, and food indicators like PDO, PGI, students gain the tools to make informed and responsible dietary decisions. The module also highlights the One Health approach, connecting human, animal, and planetary health. At the end of the module, students will be able to define key concepts related to health, nutrition, and sustainability, identify food groups, nutrition, and their functions, and explain the principles of food classification and food labeling, PDO, PGI. Analyze the components of a balanced diet and apply dietary recommendations to different age groups and health needs. Understand the role of nutrition in preventing diseases and promoting physical and mental health. Compare dietary choices, evaluating the benefits and drawbacks of meat-based and plant-based diets from both health and environmental perspectives. Explore the environmental impact of food production and consumption, including carbon footprint, seasonal eating, and food sourcing. Apply the One Health concept, recognizing how human dietary habits are linked to the health of animals and ecosystems. Make informed, responsible food choices that support personal well-being and contribute this sustainable food systems. Here, we can see some of the activities implemented by the students, including interactive presentation followed by quizzes of evaluating understanding, discussions on Tricider and Padlets, escape rooms, collaborative Google Slides presentations, opinion expressing on Lionite board. Polls, mind map designing, and guided discussions, comics and posters, infographics, designing, etc., in a variety of topics around overall health and nutrition.
Let's see Module 3.
For Module 3, Mr. Maros Mitrik, our partner from Slovakia, will present you the objectives of this module. Maros?
Yes, thank you. So in module number 3, the Mediterranean diet is seen as more than just a nutritional guideline. It is examined as a holistic lifestyle deeply rooted in tradition, sustainability, and well-being. It explores the diet's historical background, cultural importance, and its recognized health benefits, including disease prevention and longevity. Students in this module discover how the Mediterranean diet aligns with principles of sustainable eating, supports biodiversity, and reduces environmental impact. By connecting nutrition to culture, environment, and public health, this module invites students to view food choices as both personal and planetary decisions. The role of physical activity, intergenerational knowledge transfer, and the social aspects of eating are also emphasized as integral parts of this lifestyle. So that's basically what Module 3 is about. In the next slide, we can see some of the activities implemented by the students. Yes, here you can see them. They include interactive presentations and quizzes to evaluate their understanding, discussions on Padlets, and work in transnational teams to create common presentations. As part of the activity, Nutrition Traditions in Life Cycle and Time, implemented in Vrano in January 2025, students created a cookbook featuring traditional dishes from their countries, which were given and created an e-map where they shared food traditions in their countries associated with life events. They also participated in a workshop and sensory evaluation, and also shared cultures through food and eating together, which coincided with the celebration of the 20 years of E20. For the activity implemented in Acharnes in March, students and teachers from the first Epal Pacto had created comics for core components of the Mediterranean diet. There was a treasure hunt in the International Food Expo in Athens, where they made sensory evaluations on core components of the Mediterranean diet, an olive oil tasting activity at the university, and other outdoor activities. In this module, there are also some STEM activities regarding oil quality analysis and soap making from olive oil. Yes, we can continue with examples of good practice.
Before we move on to the, thank you, Maros, to this nice example of good practice implemented, I will share with you again the participants list because we will send you a certificate of attendance later this day. So please fill this form in and we will continue with the personal action plan for a better adherence to Mediterranean diet. Mrs. Milona will present it. I have shared the link in the chat.
Alfie, please give me some time because I lost my sharing options. Okay. Okay. Here is an exchange of good practices. Of course, we could share something more STEM or something more inclusive, but we choose this one because it could be adapted in every level of education, even in primary education, with some little changes. And it's a personal action plan that could be adapted in every country, if even in not Mediterranean area, for a better adherence to the Mediterranean diet. And you can see here that if you click on the link, Anthi, could you please share this to the link? Okay, I will come back later, actually, there. No, I can't. Okay, let's click here. You can see here the surface of each slide, and we have included here some goal settings, our current situation, etc. So the students make their goals, and they list everything in its step, and they have to remember to monitor their progress with questions, some questions so as to see if they are in a good step or they have to continue or change something more. But let's go to the tool. As you can see here, there is reuse this genially. All the genially that are developed under Mediterranean diet, you can find them here by clicking Mediterranean diet profile. And all are reusable. That means that you can click here on reuse this genially. And if you have account on Genially, you will see this to be presented in your dashboard. If you don't, you have to make an account on Genially. Even the free edition of Genially, it's okay. You can make use of it. As you can see here, I am in my dashboard and they have generated this Genially. So you can click here and make your changes and adaptations so as to suit your needs. Okay, let's go to see page by page. We have here the current situation. Students are called to present the current situation, and by listing three main principles of the Mediterranean diet that they follow. And they also have to ask themselves, how does the current diet compare to these principles? So they click here on info. And as you can see, there is here, maybe I have to present this. Okay, let's present this from here. Oops, I have a lot of Webex open. Okay, they are coming here, and when they click on info, it opens another table, and there are some dots here. You are clicking on text, and you add your text with describing your situation. And then the next stop is to the goal setting. We have to identify some short-term goals and some long-term goals. We always encourage students to follow the short terms and don't look at the long term because they will think that they have a lot to follow. Students are coming here and they are rewriting this text, and they can also add here a photo of themselves if their short-term goal is to lose, for example, some weight, or they can add whatever they want. And here we start to build our daily, weekly action plan by adding here breakfast inspired by the Mediterranean diet, the same for lunch and dinner. And students are encouraged here to add also some snacks that they have to include. And you can see that they can mark the week and go to the next one. So that means they can repeat each page for as many times as they want. Here is also the option of snacks. And then they have to add here some physical activity because as you already know, Mediterranean diet, and Kubra told that in the beginning, it's not only a diet, it's a lifestyle. So we have to include here physical activity. It's a part of Mediterranean diet that it's important. So you can see here that we also have a text and they have to make a plan here. And here they create a weekly plan. What I'm going to do each day of the week. For example, we say to the students, add here the walking you have from school to home, and the opposite, the days that you have sports at school, and every daily activity that you have, and then start to adding something more. And also it's important sleep management. So students are making goals here. We used this activity even without the action plan during the celebration of Sleep Day, World Sleep Day. And the changes that they have to do less due to their smartphones, etc., so as to have a better sleep, something like that. The same goes with stress management. They have to list first the things that they stress them, and then to make goals here and techniques that they can use to manage stress. Another related to stress management are some relax practices. Here they can also add some physical activity they use to combine physical activity with relaxation practices, and they are making a schedule here too. Here are the goals that I already told you. And strategies for handling social events, because Mediterranean diet has also to do with socialization, communication, etc. But I feel that we are all Mediterranean countries don't have limits here, so we have to handle social events, and we have to make some goals for them too, and about our responsible consumption. And here are some strategies for overcoming barriers, because there are people even in Mediterranean area, but much more in the non-Mediterranean countries, that they think that they have some barriers to overcome if they want to follow Mediterranean diet. So they have to list here some barriers. I can find, for example, the seasonal foods that are recommended in Mediterranean diet, but seasonal food is different in each country, and we can include here some similar vegetables, some similar fruits, etc. Let's start from this. Or some people think that Mediterranean diet is so expensive to be followed. That we mean here to put some strategies so to overcome these barriers, and some ways that we would involve all the family and friends so as to be more in our culture, because we as parents are important for our children food choices. So here we can find some ways to involve the whole family. We know from the past generations that they used to cook all together, or to have different roles in the production of food, etc., sustainable practices, and also to the idea of sharing a table. And last but not least, to remember every time to monitor their progress, to say congratulations to themselves and put another long-term and short-term goals. That's all. If you want to reuse the Genially, you can click on the link and you can adapt it in the needs of your students. And at this point, I think that we are at the end. Yes, finally, you can go and have lunch with your beloved ones. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Before you go, sir, also, I hope you have filled in the participants list. There is also one for a feedback that would be very useful for us.
And maybe there are some questions, something?
There is the Padlet we have shared above, where you can share your ideas and also questions. And if there's also something you would like to
someone
ask,
that want to ask something, maybe they could raise their hand or write
feel
this
free
to the chat.
to ask.
Is there any question? Stefan wants to go to eat. Okay. So, who is going to close?
Celine and
So hello again. Thank you for your presentation. I don't have any questions. Thank you for dissemination of your project. It looks great, and I wish you all the best.
Gordana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for all to join the meeting. And Kübra, it's your turn. You open and you close, please.
Okay, Celine, clever Celine. Thank you very much. Again, it was a great honor for me to be with you here. I saw that you made really a masterpiece again. All modules, really very nice. So nice to meet you, all of you, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much for helping us reach a broader audience. And we'll be happy to hear from you, from the feedback, and also you can add in the Padlets your ideas about more inclusive digital education. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will expect you to leave because I don't want to close the session. I don't feel well. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Gordana. I saw Gordana.
Oh, yes, I also saw her. Hello, Gordana.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm sorry I come late because I have many work here in school. But I
It's the time of the season.
yes,
Very nice to see you, your face.
me too, to see all of you.
And there's also Mr. Koch here. We remember him from the University of Samsun.
Yeah,
We're very
thank you
happy
for
to
the
see you, and
invitation.
we always want to
Very
collaborate with you in the future projects, Mr. Koch.
Yes, hopefully. I am waiting for the invitation.
I hope you liked it, yes.
We are willing to collaborate in any case.
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
invitation again. Your presentations were quite good and let's say flow-minding. So go for with the inclusive digital learning. It's a very, very, up-to-date topic. So we should success.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Inclusive education is an effort, always an effort, never
It's a
stops.
must, yeah, anymore, it's a must. In every circle of education, regardless of any, circle, it's a must.
Thanks again. So goodbye, everyone. I will close the
Yes.
session.
Time to say
It was
goodbye.
great to see you
Bye.
and see the ideas. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.